All right, so bingo, here it is. It's happening, guys. I'm telling you right now, Sony is slowly bringing its ecosystem to PC. Ghost of Tsushima's Director's Cut PC crossplay and system requirements revealed. Sony is not playing no games. It's going down. Look at this right here.
Now, if you haven't played any PlayStation games yet on PC, they are insane.
All we've been seeing this generation is PC news, PC roadmap.
And trophy support, guys. Wow. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
Just as they started to get comfortable in their false sense of security, the glorious machine from which they suckle at the teats of squirted violently into their eyes. No matter how many times Sony announced that PlayStation's console fanbase wasn't enough, its rabid fanbase pretended otherwise, blinded by their focus on their mortal enemy, Xbox. No more. The truth this time is inescapable.
I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know how anybody could look at what Sony's doing with PC and truly come to the definitive conclusion that, oh yeah, that's not happening. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like
it is happening.
You see the dark path this leads? That's why if Sony goes day and day, the reason why I'm not gonna PlayStation, not because I'm butthurt or whatever, is because I don't want to get fucked. Why would I buy a PlayStation knowing what they're gonna do? I get everything, plus better versions, plus free multiplayer.
But I just think there's a ripple effect to decisions like this. Yeah, and the business side of things, it's probably great for them. But I'm just looking at the brand and then the console side of things. I don't see.
Doesn't this get you excited if you're already on the PC? PlayStation overlay.
This PlayStation overlay with Ghost of Tsushima, I think it's a cool implementation. It definitely would, like incentivize people to double dip on PC because you will earn even more trophies, especially if you're into the whole trophy hunting thing.
This is big and just the beginning of Sony's strategy that looks beyond its own box. Sony cannot escape the allure of profitability, and Helldivers shows just how much more lucrative the PC space is than the one that its loyal fan base, feral as they are, pretend it is.
This is not really the intended optimal experience
for Sony. If PlayStation is the juice, PC is the sauce. It's funny how Sony snuck its announcement of the PlayStation overlay coming to PC alongside another former PlayStation exclusive, Ghost of Tsushima. You would think they would announce this with a lot more fanfare, but I think we all know why they tried to sneak the announcement out in this way. It is a long-established fact that the PlayStation community likes to be a martyr for their company, and an announcement or event just to reveal this development may have shone a bigger light on the army of virgins who would have lost their minds over this. So, what's the big deal about a PlayStation overlay on PC, you may ask? Well, it signals very clearly what Sony's intent is going forward. It shows an even more deepening connection with its PC aspirations. And now, on PC, you get the following: access to your PlayStation friends lists, trophies, which can now unlock on PC, which also enable you to unlock achievements on Steam and Epic Games Store. There is even crossplay on PC, so PC players can laugh at their friends on PlayStation whilst playing the definitive edition of PlayStation games on PC, all the while not paying to play online. You know, like what was happening with Xbox fans.
PlayStation games on PC run at 4K 60 FPS if you've got a good rig. A lot of times the HDR, the graphics, I mean, it is insane. I love my PlayStation 5, but the PS5 games on PC, extra incredible.
Sony itself states that this is the first PlayStation title on PC to use the overlay, and no doubt there will definitely be more. This has led many people to assume that a dedicated PlayStation store coming to PC is inevitable, and I agree. But when that happens, understand this: Sony has loosened its grip even more on the console vision in favor of PC. In that regard, is there not some vindication here for Xbox and its strategy of supporting PC in a more comprehensive manner several years ago? Some are suggesting that this is further evidence of Sony straying towards the path of eventually doing day-and-date PC releases like Xbox. But whether or not that actually happens, especially for its single-player games, remains to be seen. But you can be sure that what is definitely happening is the gap between the eventual PC release of PlayStation games is getting narrower and narrower. Heck, PlayStation's games as a service pivot means that most of its games will be appearing on PC day one anyway. But PlayStation fanboys, you ridiculed Xbox and its games for years. Now, look at the reality. And this is quite a shameful slap across the face of the narratives of many PlayStation fans. PlayStation fanboys, shame on you. You keep trying to convince everyone that 2024 is stacked with barely any first-party PlayStation exclusives, that this first half of this year is amazing and all that, and yet, despite all of that, Xbox has more games on PlayStation Store that are in the top 25 bestsellers list than Sony does. From Fallout, Call of Duty, Overwatch, Grounded, and Sea of Thieves. Heck, Sea of Thieves was topping the PlayStation's pre-order chart. And PlayStation fans are trying to twist this and say, hey, we're supporting the games because you aren't doing it, not realizing that they look like absolute mugs, paying full price for these games whilst Xbox fans get to enjoy them for the price of a Game Pass subscription. Hey, Sony fans, did you just make Xbox Game Pass a lot more sustainable? I think so. You also proved that you really, really want Xbox games. Welcome to the family.
Gaming.
But the damage control on this front is beautiful to witness. If I were to ask you to name a PlayStation-centric content creator who has a hard-on for hating Xbox and then pretending otherwise, but under the same breath downplays the very same things that PlayStation does, who comes to mind? He acts to act like a victim. He's reported to use a combination of his own semen and tears to gel up his hair, and he has a remarkable resemblance to a Nickelodeon character. You guessed it right. So would you be surprised that immediately off the bat, he started damage controlling?
Life says deal breakers day and date. If they go day and date, I'm not buying their next console. I've been with PlayStation from the jump, but this is pushing me away. I'm not buying the $70 version on PlayStation when I can play the superior version day and date on PC, probably cheaper too. Not if they do their own launcher. They will still get your money, and it will still be $70. That's the kicker right there. You can't run away from it.
So, now Sony is likely to release its own launcher, and we all know how Sony loves fleecing its own customers. You would think then that there would be a little bit more critique of them doing that. No? Not Reforge. Imagine!
You can't run away from it. If you want to play Spider-Man 3 day one and you're like, well, I'm going to go to PC where it's cheaper. No, if you buy it through their launcher, it's going to be $70. You know, well, Spider-Man 3 is actually potentially going to be broken into two parts, and it's going to be $50 for each part. But still, like, you get the point that I'm making.
Imagine Xbox doing what he just said, splitting a game in half and then charging you 50 quid for each piece, 100 quid. You'd be having a shit fit, but instead here he is coming to the defense of PlayStation and saying that it will make more money this way. Funny guy.
If they ever start to put all PlayStation games day and date on PC, with trophy support, with friends list, with full crossplay, I might go full PC.
Now, you gotta take a look at this specimen. This is an actual grown man who once recorded his reflection outside a Japanese petrol station early in the morning, talking about how much Japan hates Xbox. Here he is coping in his own way, saying that whatever happens in the gaming industry will all be alright as long as Xbox continues to have no exclusive games. When Xbox has no exclusives, we all win. I'm sure none of us will be surprised if we ever saw him on the news one day, but it isn't just the unhinged psychopaths that are upset. The comment section of the PlayStation blog is a gold mine of Fanboy Tears. The only on PlayStation tag is about as useful as its Xbox counterpart. PlayStation is officially dead to this guy. This chap says something quite interesting. He says they're completely killing their own console. I can see a Windows-based Xbox console that will be able to run their exclusives. Ooh. Please make it happen.
What? You gotta eat the lettuce. Right, just straight up eat the lettuce.
This was the last straw for this PlayStation fan. You clearly don't want me as a customer with your decisions, he says, as he announces that he will sell his PlayStation 5 later. He also looks forward to the demise of Sony. Oh my god. What's funny about all this is the fact that the PlayStation 5 Pro is also set to release this year. I'm sure it will come at a hefty price and kind of in the ballpark figure that would make it feasible for us to have a decent PC rig at that price. This is just the beginning. Microsoft is expanding its horizons, and it looks like PlayStation might be watching more carefully than you imagine. It's a little bit slower on the uptake, but I'm sure it will get there eventually. Day and date on PC. Would I be surprised? Not at all. Should it happen? I say yes, just so I can see them cry. Smash that like button, hit that bell icon, and make sure you subscribe because the sauce is getting spicier by the day.
It is happening.